Happy Thursday, everybody. How's it going? We are back with Sonny Boy. How's everybody doing? What's up? What's up? What's up, Pipe? All I'm gonna say is that you're not ready for this episode. Well, okay. I don't think we've been ready for every episode, but if you're saying that, then Lord knows what this episode is about. Okay. Yeah, all right. What's going on, everybody? True, but this is worse. Okay. I just was rewatching last week's episode. Another week, another busy week where I wasn't able to rewatch the episode. Luckily, at the end of last stream, I did sit down here and skim through the episode again, and we'd had a real brief conversation about the last episode, and we came to, I feel like, some interesting developments, some interesting discoveries as well with Asakaze and the visualizations. And then upon me rewatching, I mentioned it last week, but just upon rewatching again, it just feels like Asakaze and Nogata might be two sides of the same coin. That it feels that way. It doesn't feel like Asakaze can create worlds, but he can manipulate them. But it doesn't feel like Nagata can manipulate them, but he can like replicate them and copy them, and like create them, and then like it's weird. It feels like they're two sides of the same coin. Like if they were to combine their powers, if they were to come together like Captain Planet, then quite possibly they may be able to get back home. But because they're such odds with each other, you never know. It kind of falls back into the whole message of episode 4. So, oh gosh, something went in my eye. I always struggle trying to say your name. Is it Quo-Is? Quo-Is. That's what I'm going to go with until I'm corrected. I'm sorry. I apologize. But that's all I got. Those are the conclusions that I drummed up. Also, there's a spot in last episode with the skateboard. We see the skateboard shooting out of the hole that Asakaze created, and then at the end of the episode, whenever Aki seemingly presented herself, it doesn't feel like that scene was in order of events that happened. We see the skateboard fall in. So what does that mean? Like, what symbolism is that? So that is all I got. Let me pause this music up and we can get started. There we go. All right. Here it is. Sonny Boy, episode 6. We're going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here we are. Oh. We're back here. But the thing's not up there. Okay. Who's this? Who are you? That's his point of view. How? So all of that is his? What's up, X? So is all of this his, or is this just this or is just this specific? A camp? 2-month time skip. Costco. So she wait. That's the thing. What's up, Claudia? How are you? That's the animal. That's the animal. That's the animal. Wait, what? Okay. What? What? Is this one of their teachers? No. He's gigantic. So what's the deal with the old man in the wheelchair? It's been about 3 or 4 months. There's a roof on that thing now. The time skips are so drastic that you gotta play catch up. Like when you first watch these. So the student council's here. The people that went with Aki are in the camp, and then they're just jumping around from world to world. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay. That's some. Who was that? Okay. So how long have you been here? Huh? I came here the same year you graduated? Huh? We're out of focus. Fix it. That has to be trippy. He's a person. That's crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Interesting. Huh. That's a good experiment to run. How come it was out of was it only me that it was whenever they flashed to the swirly thing that it was like pixelated? Was it only me that that was for? That's a good thought though. Nonetheless. Is that an empty reel? Wait. No. That's that's life before they went adrift. This is ambitious. Ambitious. Note that. Nagata. Good question. These are all good questions that we need to ask in this experiment. Well, Toshi, let's try to go home first. Jesus. Let's try to go home first. Jeez. When we can't go home, then we could do your. He has. They're gonna lay siege to this place. Okay. Okay. Well, we don't know that. Huh? Huh? No. Stay outside. Well, the camp people are outside. Mizuho. they they do that, and it always throws me off. I haven't fixed my face. It's all scrunched up. This is the most that this voice has talked. Did anyone think that they would go back and no time has passed? Is that possible? I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like this. So much is happening. She's got a skirt on. She's got a skirt on. What in the world is going on? This song is great. It's episode 1. Feather. I didn't do that. Huh? Who's no longer needed? She's not there. What? I think I get it. 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 Mm-hmm. Damn it. It's like I think I got it, and I think I got it. Yep. Makes total sense now. I get it. I totally get it. So who the hell is who is she? Mm, 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 mm. Ah, is that it? That is it. I was kind of figuring it out. It kind of took me like a ton of bricks, but I didn't want to say anything and feel like I was wrong. It's the same. A lot of you guys know by now. My brain works weird, and I can make connections. And I can make connections between different series. But as everything was like starting to go, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is like that game Soma." And if you played that game Soma, it's the main the main topic of that conversation of the game is what what does it mean to like really truly be alive? What does it mean to like actually survive as like a human race like at the end? What does that mean? Like, is it because we're biological that we're human, or if we upload ourselves to technology and save copies of ourselves, does that still mean the human race exists even though it's on like a hard drive or something? So that's the main story of that. Let me play some music just so it's not super quiet. But that's the main story of that game. But what it entailed to get copies of yourself is that like it made you the whole game made you believe that there was a possibility of being saved. There was a possibility of like restoring things. But when you finally get to the climax of the game, you realize that you've only saved a copy of yourself into this digital world and you're still stuck there. So it's like you're in this apocalyptic place and you think that you can inject yourself and escape from this place, but all you really did was make a copy of yourself and you are in there, but the personality that has been living, that has all this experience, doesn't get to go in there. Like your consciousness, your personality and who you are definitely went forward, but the you that's right now, you don't get to experience what moving forward is. It's so odd. So it's not 100% similar to this, but it started to like hit me like whenever they enacted it and it started to go and they were seeing the graduation and I'm like, this is the future, and I'm like, oh snap, like they're not like they have lived on. Like they have, like nothing has changed with what has been going on. They continued on, and it's kind of like it's kind of like a save state. Like whenever the drift happened, it was a save state, and it was like a save state and a separation, so that why ever they drifted, they stopped right here and they got ejected somewhere else, while yes, that same individual still lived on. They still lived on, but it's hard to explain. It's very hard to explain, but that's truly what this is. And it really started to sit in. So now it just makes you, I would love to go back to every single moment that we got to see of the past and figure out and try to, like, context clues, figure out what happened, because Nozomi, like, she in the real world, she passed. So like, she obviously made friends, she obviously integrated fine, but then something happened. It makes me want to go analyze her character even more. Is there a possible, like, matter of fact, when the teacher, like, what was she saying, like, when the teacher was giving her like stuff on college and stuff, and then a lot of her dialogue at the beginning of this series, the first couple of episodes, were along the lines of like we don't, like, a lot of like, we don't know what's in store for us, like as if she either knew that she wasn't going to make it, whether that be sickness, whether that be she intended to take matters into her own hands, whatever that is. It could lean, like, there could be a lot of tiny little clues as to what's going on. I also would like to, like, reanalyze this episode because what's his name? Oh gosh, the dog, Yamabiko, because he said only, like, teachers don't go with the school, only students do. So does that mean Aki was somehow like a former student? Because she was at graduation and she was crying as well. So I don't know. I'm not sure. It's odd. I also would like to try to investigate exactly what was going on with Nagata's personality as well, how that translates to the real world. I'm trying to see where she's standing. That's what I'm trying to see, where she's standing at. She has one of these flowers on, and she's surrounded by a lot of older people, which makes me believe that she is a teacher. She was in the when she was in the facility, like she was in the faculty room, and like Misaki, all that stuff. So it's possible she could have been a student that went to that school, and she got caught up in the drift as well. Because, hold on, where was that scene at? It's hard to navigate. Whenever they were in the air. Right here. Hold on. this. You see this? You see this? Who is this? Like, who are these people? It makes me believe that. It makes me believe that Aki possibly could have. She could have been one of the people here. It could be a mix of that, but like, this is clearly another class. This is probably another class. Like, it's possible that Aki could have drifted, right? It's a very good possibility that Aki could have drifted, and it makes total sense. It makes total sense now that we had the introduction, the true introduction of this character in this episode. That Aki could have drifted, yes, but just because you drifted doesn't mean you don't exist in the real world anymore. So the real world Aki could have been a student, graduated, became a teacher, came back to the school and taught, and now is a teacher for our current kids. But she could have drifted, been on her own island, somehow came off the island. That's why she's completely different from the Miss Aki that the students knew and that we heard glimpses of in the first episode. This could have been what high school Aki was like. This very firecracker, crazy personality that's been changed by her experience. God knows how long. Yamabito was stuck here 5,000 years because time is relative. So it's no telling how long she was here. So that it could be something like that, and she, because she's been here so long, thinks that you're stuck here. Like, clearly, like, our class divided into 3 different pieces. There's no telling how many different pieces her class divided into, and she honestly possibly could have been the Hoshi of her class, where she believes that we need to stay here, we need to live here, I'm the savior, salvation, blah 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 blah. Somehow transferred to another island and infiltrated our kids and made it even worse. And she ultimately succeeded in not letting these versions of these kids return back to their own consciousness so that they can continue living forward in the world that they know. That's very possible as to what this could have been. I think this is why they throw a lot of these random scenes in, is so that you're able to fill in the blanks. These 2 individuals, the one with the leg on his head and this one that's an umbrella, like, it's obvious. Holy crap. Like, they're turning into the objects, aren't they? Am I not being stupid? Aren't they turning into the objects that our kids were finding? Yes, right? They're literally, like, they're they're part human. And every single object that we've been able to see had some sort of personality or an ability that they could have used. It seems like they're transforming, just like Yamabito turned into a dog. He's turning into an umbrella. He's turning into something. The mouse could have been a person. Every item that they've been finding could have been a person that went adrift. It makes me, and just the glimpse of, I don't know, just the glimpse. No, I don't think there was an umbrella, but he is turning into an umbrella. So I'm just saying, like, this random image of these 2 people we've never seen before, and they're commenting on how our group almost made it out. Is it possible that all the items that we've been finding, like the mouse and the ball and the glasses and everything else, is it possible that those items, those things from leftover worlds, were people that went adrift, been there? Is it could be either or. I'm just assuming it's him turning into an umbrella. It could be, we don't know, but I'm just assuming it's him turning into an umbrella because we have precedents of the mouse having a personality. Like, why would a computer mouse have a personality? So it's just my assumption that all of these objects and all of these different worlds possibly could have been a student. Who knows? Who knows? Overall, I like this. I will say the last two or three episodes, at the start of the episode, because they time skip so much, you're playing catch up a lot. So I don't know if it's I don't know if maybe if this could have been 8 episodes, so the time skips weren't like a month and 2 months and 3 weeks and stuff like that, with a lot of stuff that's happening in between. Could have been possible. We could have gotten a few more episodes instead of just having it 6. I mean, because of what they're saying, it's like they knew what was happening, right? Like they were able to observe it. Or it could be that they've all gotten to this point and there's always been someone to interrupt them. There's always been someone to mess with them. So the fact that they were able to, they were really close if it wasn't for Ahhhh. Because I think for these individuals, I think their time is up. Like Yamabita was saying that, like it's too late for me. Like they said, it's only been like 8 months for you guys. Like surely that's more like you had enough time to be able to get out of here. I don't know if the time period is a year. I think the time period might sync up with whenever you go adrift to the point of your graduation. That's how much time you have. So once it passes your graduation and the actual timeline of events that you would have lived through, you can't leave. So they might have lived past their graduation. They can't go with them. So no matter what they did, like it's too far gone for them. Because if that were the case, why wouldn't Ahhhh want to go with them so she would be able to get back to her own timeline? Especially since we have an Ahhhh in our own timeline. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't have the vocabulary and I don't have the knowledge of how to explain. I kind of think they were just watching from afar. Like there's no like why like it might not be that they don't want to help. Maybe they can't help. Maybe they don't have a way to get off their island. Maybe the principal won't let them leave their island, but the principal will let Ahhhh leave her island because Ahhhh is helping the principal and whatever this is going on with the going adrift, the copies bullcrap. So because they didn't buy into the logics of everything, like I don't know what word to use, because they didn't buy in, they're stuck and they turn and they're just trapped here forever. But because Ahhhh did buy in, she gets to keep her form, her consciousness, and she just continues to go on to do as well. Because Hoshi was on that same path. Hoshi was on the same path that Ahhhh was. And Hoshi's the only individual that we know from our class that had face-to-face interactions with the principal. But throughout the course of this episode, the fact of Rajdhani and Nozomi and everyone talking to Hoshi, they were able to kind of get through a little bit, and Hoshi was now on their sides trying to help them get away. I think so. I do. That's very a possibility. That Yamabiko somehow made his way into this island and would come in contact with them and would help them, because as soon as he got here, like things started to like really like click. They started to get answers. And Ahhhh being here, Ahhhh arrived before he could. Well, Ahhhh made contact with them before he could, and she was able to sway more than half the class. Well, it seems like more than half the class. She was able to sway it. So if he would have made contact first and the other ones would have heard it, Would she have been more successful? Who knows? But I don't know. I think so. I think what everyone was saying to Hoshi, and then Pony as well, it finally did click, because then Hoshi was on board. I'm repeating myself now. Yeah, Hoshi was on board, and they were. It's a combination of individuals saying things and then seeing the actual like fruits of the experimentation that Rajdhani and Nagata were doing with the films. Like having it explained, it's like, holy crap, like it could be possible. And Rajdhani even saying that it's a possibility, like if this doesn't go bad, we're not gonna be like screwed, like we're not gonna die or turn into a dog or anything, but it's like we could fail. And they were on the verge of getting out of there. It literally took for what's his face actual intervention from the principal in order for them. It literally took for actual intervention. It actually took actual intervention for them not to make it. Otherwise, this plan that they came up with, I think, would have worked. It's possible it could have worked. I like this though. I like this. I do wish we could have had an episode or two more, because I have like barely a few complaints about this series, but my only complaint is that for sure 100% the start of we got to see him at home, the state of it, and him talking through the door. We did get to see about that. But my only complaint, there's 12 episodes, so this isn't it. I don't know. I'm interested to see if there is more. I'm interested to see where the hell this goes. This felt like a crazy six episode finale, but I don't know where we go from here. My complaints, I think even if there's more episodes after that, like I damn sure thought this was it. This feels like a finale for real. But my only complaint, the last 2 episodes, I still stick by it. The last 2 episodes, too much time passes. And I'm spending the first half of the episode playing catch up. I will say that. That still stands. At least we got more. I thought this was going to be like a special, like, here's a 6-piece. Think about it. But still. The last, like, I've said this 4 times now. I won't say it again. I hate repeating myself. I feel like this could have been stretched a little more. I don't know what the hell's upcoming. This absolutely could have been stretched just a little bit more. An episode or 2 maybe. I feel like 2 months for what happened in this episode. I feel like is way too long. I think that's way too long of a time skip, especially how detail oriented this series is, that you have to pay attention to a lot. And granted, it's probably mundane to show Nagata and Nozomi and everyone going through, just hopping through worlds, finding stuff. But the start of this episode to be like it's 2 months later, We haven't talked to each other in 2 months. There's an entire boot camp that Aki set up that we only get to see a glimpse of. I don't like, we saw, maybe that was Aki's people. I don't know. Time, it is flexible. It is, but it's a lot. It's still a lot. Like, they still, like, even though time is flexible, they still experience 2 months. Because, like, they put it, like, they experienced 2 months. And a lot of stuff happened. Like, they were in completely different spots than they were last week. And then, like, the whole mouse thing, like, it's like they figured out, like, the start of last week, they figured out a whole thing about these items that get left behind from these worlds, right? Like, with these worlds and all of that like, they defeat a world or something and then there's an item that's left behind. Like, they discovered all of that. Were they completed like 6 or 7 of them and then dropped us into a random one, and now we got to figure out why there's mice and worlds and all this crap, and then they kind of explain it as the episode goes on. But now, how my brain is wired, I'm now focusing, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and I'm missing more stuff. And then now they've given that to me, and now we need to keep moving forward because more crazy stuff is happening. So it's the same thing happened this week. I was like, geez, what's happening? So who knows? Maybe we'll start to see some of the kids turning into stuff. But Aki 100% had a skirt on, so it makes me believe that the Aki that we see isn't the. I don't. Who knows? I don't know. I'm done. I don't know. I'm done. We'll be back here. This felt like a finale. You can't tell me that this week didn't feel like a finale. This felt like a finale. I like, this episode was so good like, it was structured like a finale so well that I was like, I think this is it. I think this is it. This is so kudos. Kudos. It threw me for a loop, I will say that. I don't know what the hell to think. Like, what do we do for the next 6 episodes? Like, what do we do? I don't know. This is an episode that I feel like it's going to be the most rewatchable out of a lot of the other episodes, even though all of the other episodes are try again, I suppose. There's nothing wrong with trying again. All the other episodes are rewatchable, but this one, like, so much is happening, so many fine details and things are happening that it's interesting. It'll be more interesting to watch this one again. And all, like, I think that just popped into my head. An indicator of Hoshi buying in. That's why I feel like Aki bought in, and she's like a harbinger for the principal. And I think an identifier for Hoshi buying in and becoming like one of the principal's harbingers is how we had like 2 or 3 moments of Hoshi talking and then the principal's voice coming out of Hoshi's mouth, as if like Hoshi's the mouthpiece for the principal, for us, the viewer. There's maybe like 1 or 2 of those instances. There was there was a whole sequence where Hoshi would just talk and it would flip-flop, as if Hoshi continues to buy into we have to stay here, we can't leave. etc., etc. And the more that Hoshi started to say that, the more that the principle started to come out of Hoshi's mouth, until Hoshi got checked and brought back over, and then it didn't happen again. Interesting indeed. Interesting indeed. Where's my cursor at? Yeah. Pony did. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Principal was in a wheelchair. So what is this? What is this image of Hoshi? Was that from? Is this from the first episode when they were in the school looking? And is this from there? Is this from there? Principal was in a wheelchair. Absolutely was in a wheelchair. It was silver. No. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So what's the purpose of pointing it there? Pointing there, putting it there when the principal's talking about copies. I think I hit something with Aki being a harbinger for the principal. I think I did. I think it's obvious though, so I don't feel smart about it or anything. I think it was clear. If I'm able to stumble upon it, someone else damn sure did. Yeah. I do think that's all I got though. This is a rewatch. I'm definitely going to be in the Discord later for this one. 100% I'm going to be in the Discord for this one later. What I'm going to do is that I'm calling it here for this one. I damn sure thought this was the end. I really did. If this was the end, I just need to see where it goes now, because if this was the end, I would have been like, this is a thought-provoking 6 episodes. Holy crap. Now it's time to investigate. We need to rewatch all the episodes forwards, backwards, fast forward, rewind, we need to do it all. We need to flip it upside down. I was ready to do that, but I'll hold off. I'll hold off. So I'll call it here. I'm gonna put the stream down. I'm gonna wait like 10-15 like stand up stretch. I'm gonna just put up a sidetrack stream, and I'm gonna put together this whiteboard so we can have it tomorrow for our taxi. So if you're interested, swing on by. It'll go up in a couple of minutes. But if not, thank you for being here with me. I really do. This is a really good episode. I think this was my favorite episode of the series so far, because we got answers. All we got was questions and more questions and more questions, and we would get answers that would give us more questions. Like now, these we have answers and we have more questions, but it's kind of like I feel like it's closed the door on a lot of what we were doing in these first 6 episodes. So now new doors are opening, and we just have to pull from what our experiences were to see where we can go now and what we can do. So there's that. Thank you again. And I'll catch you next Thursday for episode 7 of Sonny Boy. So see you later. Peace out.